Hi, today I want to talk to you about Masters of the Universe Revelations. That is the new Netflix Kevin Smith shit show that should have never been made. Now, He-Man has been remade a few times, and believe it or not, there was another show that came out that actually didn't last very long, but it had 65 episodes. Now, the first He-Man, the one thing I never understood, first of all, Skeletor had to be a moron. It's like the whole Superman thing. Prince Adam and He-Man, they're identical twins, but He-Man has a tan and a deeper voice. So I never understood that. When they came out with the 2002 version of He-Man, that was so much better because you had a skinny, younger Adam and a big buff He-Man. We're going to talk today about, well, I am, about the new Netflix crap. Now, my thing is, if you're going to make a show called Masters of the Universe, then at least have the Masters of the Universe in it and allow them to be the heroes. In the new Netflix trash, you do see Fistor. Now, he's the guy with the big iron fist, well, steel fist, that was part of the Masters of the Universe. In the new show, Teela is the only one in the entire universe that they can turn to save Eternia. Which, in the new show, it's not Eternia, it's Preternia. So, they already screwed up a bunch of stuff. He-Man is absolutely in this show maybe 5 minutes for the first whole 5 episodes. That's 5 minutes combined for all 5 episodes. Now, the 80s show, even though I think everybody in there was a moron because it was Prince Adam with a tan and a deeper voice, it has a following. It lasted 130 episodes, and it lasted from 83. It came out in 1983 to 1985. Okay. After they canceled that, they tried to re-release He-Man in the 90s. A lot of people don't know about this show. It was the New Adventures of He-Man. It came out in September of 1990 and ran until December of 1990. So it was only on for like 3 months, but it aired 65 episodes. So, you know, they were doing something right to have 65 episodes. Personally, I think that show was really bad. If you look up the show, it's called The New Adventures of He-Man. He-Man's on another planet. None of the Masters are there. Skeletor, they made him look just goofy. So it wasn't the best show. Out of all the He-Man series up until 2021, that was the worst series. Now, I would say even the He-Man movie, the live-action movie, was better than that series. And that series is a masterpiece compared to the new Netflix version. That says something. Now, in 2002, they came out with a remake of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It ran from August 2002 to January 2004. It only had 39 episodes. Now, that's the one where a lot of people love that series, but toy sales didn't do extremely well, and so they canceled the series. There's like 2 seasons. That's it. It was a really good series. Now, 2021. Kevin Smith is a fucking moron. The people at Netflix that aired this trash, whoever you used to help Kevin Smith on this should be fired immediately. The new 2021 series from Netflix, Masters of the Universe Revelations, so far only has 5 episodes. It's complete garbage. Let's go through a little bit and see if you don't agree with me. When the series starts, He-Man shows up at Castle Grayskull with 2 prisoners. The sorceress has to open the door. Now, we all know that He-Man could come and go anytime he wanted inside Castle Grayskull. He would say, by the power of Grayskull, I command the drawbridge open, and the door would open. So, for the sorceress to have to open the door and come out, that made no sense. For He-Man to be taking prisoners to Castle Grayskull made no sense. They did not keep prisoners inside Castle Grayskull. That's the first problem I have with this whole series. Is it is so inaccurate about what should actually be happening with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Alright, let's step a little bit forward. The sorceress gets captured. She's in a tube and all this other stuff, and Skeletor's taking over and all this other stuff. This is in the first episode. Skeletor kills Mossman. He-Man kills Skeletor. Now, we all know by everything we've ever seen on He-Man, he does not kill. Ever. You know, it's the whole Batman thing all over again. You know, if Batman would have killed the Joker, you know, all these victims of the Joker wouldn't have been victims. But Batman won't kill. He-Man won't kill. We know that from all the series before this. We know that from the comic books before this. So, he kills Skeletor. Supposedly. And He-Man, and doing all this and saving Grayskull, he dies in the process. And you're going, okay, wow. No He-Man in the show. So far, we've seen one master, which was Fistor, and Teela. The whole show, so far, the first 5 episodes is about Teela, who looks like a butch dyke with a girlfriend who they have to turn to save the entire universe. How does that make sense? The show is called Masters of the Universe. So far in the first episode, He-Man's dead, Mossman's dead. So they turn to Teela. Are you telling me there's no other masters? Let's see. There was Stridor. There was Buzz Off, I believe. There was Ram Man. So there's still a whole bunch of people to choose from. But apparently they can't find none of these people because they picked Teela to come to play as the master. They bring her to Grayskull later on. So far in this series, Orko has died, Mossman has died, He-Man has died, Duncan, who is Man-at-Arms, gets banished in the first episode from the kingdom, and the king tells him, if you ever come back, if I ever see you again, or you come back to the kingdom, I'm executing you. How the hell is this right? And of course, Teela in this series The king and queen just learned that He-Man is dead. The queen, of course, knows, even in the original series, it hinted that she knew Adam was He-Man. In the 2002 series, it hints that she knows Adam is He-Man. So while the king's like, we need to have a parade to honor him and shit, she's like, we lost our son. And he's like, no, no, He-Man died. And she's like, no, we lost our son. So she knew, and Teela gets so butthurt that she tells two grieving parents, pretty much, fuck you, that, oh, well, somebody kept a secret from me, and y'all can go fuck yourself. If I was the king, I would have put her ass to death right there. This whole first half is about Teela. You know, and Kevin Smith came out not that long ago and said the second half is about Evil Lynn. So you have a Masters of the Universe show with no Masters of the Universe about two women who they buffed up. I mean, no offense, Evil Lynn in this show is pretty. They made her pretty. But her arms are literally the size of my legs. Teela, they buffed up. They made her look like a man. And she's really not very smart. But they make her out to be the hero. This entire time, through all first 5 episodes, she's pissed off because somebody kept a secret from her. You know, I swear they ripped off certain things from all the other stuff. I even think they ripped off the He-Man movie, or Masters of the Universe live action movie, because in that movie the sorceress ages. In this, she ages. This show is complete trash. Do not sponsor Netflix by watching this. Do not buy the toys. If you're into this woke bullshit, hey, that's up to you. But I will not, myself or my girlfriend, will finish watching this show. We will not tell anyone buy the toys. Now, I went to Walmart yesterday and had to buy some groceries for the house. And I always walk down the clearance aisle because sometimes you can find a pretty good deal on stuff. Our 700-watt microwave that we purchased was on the clearance aisle for $35, something like that. It was a really good deal. So I always check clearance aisle. Of all things, they have Battle Cat. A whole bunch of Battle Cat toys for like $5. That should tell you how bad this series is. Now, I don't know if it's the new Battle Cat or the old Battle Cat and they're just clearing stock. But the point is they had Battle Cat for like $5. A bunch of them. Now let's get back into talking about the other shows. Once again, the original He-Man, I don't understand how nobody knew that Adam wasn't He-Man. I mean, come on. It was Prince Adam with a tan and a deeper voice. So, it had some decent story to it. And it does have a major following. When the 90s hit and they rebooted He-Man, they decided, we're going to go a different route with this, a different direction. So they send He-Man to another planet. Skeletor's on the other planet. And it's not so much magic, but I think more or less more scientific, if I remember right. The show was not that good. I have sat through every episode. I was so bored within the first 6 shows that I dreaded watching the rest. But I have sat through all those shows. And Skeletor just didn't look right at all. Didn't look right, didn't sound right. That was the 90s show. Then the 2002 show came out, and everybody's hallelujah. Finally. A Masters of the Universe show we can be proud of again. The artistry, animation, the voices were done very, very well in that show. And unfortunately, it got canceled because of low toy sales. Between all these shows that they made for all these different He-Mans, the 80s He-Man and the 2002 version are the ones you should check out. If you want to watch the 90s cartoon and check it out, you can go online and search for the New Adventures of He-Man, and it'll come up and you can watch it online for free. But like I said, it's not a very good show. When Kevin Smith first said this was a continuation of the 80s He-Man, where it was left off, everyone out there got excited. See, I hate clickbait. I hate somebody says something and then you say something totally different or show something totally different. This is a Teela show. This is a female woke show where all the men in the show that are in the show, I mean seriously, there's no Ram Man, no Stridor, no Buzz Off. Numerous characters are not in this show. So Orko's dead, Moss Man's dead, He-Man's dead, all in the first 5 episodes. He-Man dies in the first episode. Then you have Roboto, who's dead. And I believe that is episode 5. And he doesn't show up till 5. So I can't sit here and tell you to watch that show. Now, Kevin Smith blaming fans for the show being so bad is stupid in the first place. You don't blame the fans if you do a crappy job. You don't blame the fans if you use clickbait and every advertisement and every trailer you have has He-Man in it. You don't blame the fans when they get upset because it's not a He-Man show. It's not a Masters of the Universe show. It's a female woke show. Now, they even changed King Grayskull. He's black. And the thing is, they came out and said, well, we don't want to have too many burly, buff, blonde-haired guys, which would have been 2. But when Teela goes to where Adam's final resting place is, and all the protectors of basically Grayskull and Eternia are there, because they're all dead, how many big, buff, burly, dark-haired guys are there? You have no problem making a bunch of white guys with dark hair, as long as, well, the main king is black, and you have no problem, you know, changing King Grayskull to black, but you show all these big, burly, buff dudes with dark hair. You know, if you're going to change something, change it for the better, not for the worse. As bad as the 90s He-Man was, Like I say, it is a masterpiece compared to this Kevin Smith Netflix woke shit. Now, the reason I'm not showing anything from He-Man or the Masters of the Universe, one, I can get a copyright strike if I show something, and two, I would definitely get a copyright strike because Kevin Smith has already gone after fans by saying it's their fault his show sucked. I advise you, avoid this show at all costs. That's my advice. My girlfriend, who loves the 80s He-Man and the 2002 version, those were definitely the best versions of Masters of the Universe. She sat down and she watched the first episode, He-Man dies. And Duncan, Man-at-Arms, gets banished from the kingdom. And she's like, what's going on here? Mossman dies in the first episode, and she's like, wait, what? Everything after that is all about Teela. Her greatest fear is that she's going to be too powerful. I mean, come on. Teela was nothing more than to me, she had hidden power. She was the daughter of the sorceress. So yes, she had hidden power in her. But as far as physical, she wasn't that powerful. She wasn't that strong. She was like a gymnast. You put up a gymnast in a fight against a world-class bodybuilder, I don't care how many times that gymnast is going to hit him, he's just going to stand there. Like, what are you doing? And one smack from him is going to knock her on her ass. They made the show completely woke. They made every male character in it either cruel, stupid, or just weak. You know, if you watch this trash, that's up to you. My girlfriend sat through 5 episodes of it, and she said she will never, ever finish this series. Ever. In fact, she wants to go back and rewatch the 2002 He-Man to try to get this trash out of her head. If you watch this shit, it's fine. You're entitled to. It's a free country. Supposedly. But Kevin Smith, stop blaming fans for your failure. Netflix, whoever the asshole was that you appointed to oversee this and throw in his input, fire that son of a bitch. And Mattel, you rushed into this because the whole rights thing, you have rights to the toys from the 80s, but you don't have rights to the Filmation series. And I don't know if your rights are fixing to run out, the copyrights or whatever are fixing to run out. So you rushed into this so you could sell toys. You're not going to sell them this way. And I hope that Mattel takes a massive hit on this, because they should have known better. If your trailers show He-Man, then have He-Man. If you name the show Masters of the Universe, have the Masters of the Universe. If you want to watch the show, fine. Is it worth watching? No. I can sum up this show in 2 words. Complete shit. If you want to watch a bad He-Man show, Look up the 90s version and watch it. But even it is 100 times better than this Netflix trash. Or better yet, stick with the 80s cartoon, or even with the 2002 release. They're so much better than this garbage that they put out now. I know I'm just sitting here talking. I'm not showing anything other than me. And I'm saying how I feel about this show. Does it surprise me Netflix will put out garbage like this? Absolutely not. A lot of their shows are garbage. In fact, when they brought Cuties and released it to the world, that was enough. They should have learned from that mistake. You don't do things like this. You know, Cuties was a pervert's fantasy movie. And then you make He-Man and the Masters of the Universe into a lesbo series, and you go woke with it. I hope that people cancel their Netflix subscriptions over this. I hope that people don't buy the toys. I know if I had a child that was young, I wouldn't let them watch this garbage. And I sure as hell wouldn't buy the toys for them. If you're going to make a show and you show the main character, you don't kill the main character in the first 5 minutes of the show. This is my opinion on this new Netflix He-Man trash. If you want to watch a bad He-Man series, watch the 90s. New Adventures of He-Man. Well, it's the New Adventures of He-Man. It was pretty bad. But it was still so much better than the garbage Netflix has put out. Better yet, stay with the 80s version or go with the 2002 version. Those people, those two series, knew how to make a show. Personally, I've never seen anything from Kevin Smith that I've liked. The guy's 50-something years old, and he's acting like a 12-year-old. Grow the hell up. Stop taking beloved characters and screwing them up. Netflix already did that with She-Ra. What made people think that since they did that with She-Ra that they wouldn't do some kind of trash to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Stop taking beloved series and running them. Once again, the original He-Man was 130 episodes. The New Adventures of He-Man was 65 episodes. Then the He-Man 2002 He-Man and Masters of the Universe remake was 39 episodes. And now we get this trash that they've released 5 out of 10 episodes for. Nobody should finish this. And the sad thing is, Netflix can actually put out some good stuff. Castlevania, the series Castlevania, it's a good series. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend you watch it. But this garbage, avoid it. So far, 5 episodes. They've killed off He-Man, Orko, Mossman. You'd think Skeletor's dead, but he's kind of hiding somewhere. And that shows at the end of the 5th episode. So, and Man at Arms gets banished. This show is trash. Now, I understand you've been sitting here for 30 minutes listening to me rant and rave on this new Masters of the Universe revelation as complete woke garbage. I'm sorry. Netflix, never hire Kevin Smith again for anything and fire the son of a bitch that helped him that works at Netflix. That guy who is supposedly a fan that knows about He-Man and Masters of the Universe doesn't know jack shit. He doesn't know about the fans and how they feel if you changed all this. Fire that piece of crap. If you're going to remake a series, a beloved series of all things, at least keep the spirit of the series. Like I said, sometimes Netflix has some decent stuff. I can't name a lot of it, but sometimes they do. And Netflix, stop this petty bullshit. I mean, come on. 5 fucking episodes for a season? What the fuck? Are y'all that motherfuckers that cheap that you can't at least make 12, 13 episodes in a season? That pisses me off too. You know, a lot of Netflix shows do this. 2, 3 episodes for the entire season. 4, 5 episodes for the entire season. Come on, Netflix. If you're going to make a series, have more than 3, 4, 5 episodes for the entire season. Even 8 shows is not enough for an entire season. You're doing this to make money and give stuff to fans and people that enjoy your series or shows. Give it to them. I'm sorry, over this He-Man garbage, everyone should cancel Netflix. Even though they do have some decent stuff. Everybody should have canceled Netflix over that Cuties fiasco. But this is something you took that was beloved by millions of people and you completely ruined it by going woke with this. By making the male characters seem cruel or weak or just getting rid of them altogether. But like I said, you can't tell me out of all the Masters of the Universe that were out there that were on the good guy side, you couldn't find any of the ones that were left. We know Fisto was there. You show him in the first, 5 minutes or so of your first episode. He's running right behind Teela. So we know he's still around. Where's Ram-Man? Strador, Buzz Off. There are a lot more characters you could have used. But nope, you wanted your woke bullshit crap trying to trick people into watching this show by showing trailers of He-Man and pictures of He-Man. Came back to bite you in the ass there, didn't it, Netflix? And Kevin Smith, you can fuck yourself. Don't blame the fans because you created something that was pure shit. Stop bitching about the fans. It's not the fans. It's you. You fucked it up. If you want to watch a bad He-Man show, watch the 90s cartoon. If you want a good He-Man show or Master of the Universe show, watch the 80s version or the 2002 cartoon. And another thing, the voice acting, it doesn't match. Literally. You may have got all these stars to do the voices in this. Sarah Michelle Gellar's fine. I have no issue with her. Does she fit the part of the voice? No. I mean, you buffed Tila up to be a guy. It should be a much deeper voice. You literally make her look like a man. Mark Hamill. Hey, everybody thinks of him as Luke Skywalker, but he's done other stuff that I enjoyed him in. In the original Flash series, the original TV show The Flash, he played the Trickster. Do I think of that a lot? No. When I hear his voice, I think of one thing. The Joker. I'm not going to think of him as Skeletor. I think of him as the Joker. He is so good in that part. And Batman, the animated series, and the Batman stuff, as Joker. I mean, he is excellent as Joker. As Skeletor? No. It doesn't fit. You know, you can have all the stars in the world, but if your show is shit, doesn't matter how much star power you have. And that's exactly what happened with this show. I know I'm ranting on this show because it sucks. I'm trying to save you from having to sit through that garbage. If you watch it, that's on you. Is it worth watching? No. It's not. Like I said, even the lousy 90s He-Man show that most people don't even know about is better than this. Alright, it's been almost 40 minutes of me ranting about this show and the reasons this show sucks, and you're welcome to decide for yourself. But Kevin Smith already said that the next 5 episodes is basically Evil Lynn's story, not Tila's. So you go from one woke woman to another woke woman show. Basically, you took out all the male characters and you're going to have all females. At least I can talk about Evil Lynn in this show. They actually made her pretty. Unlike Tila. The Tila in this show doesn't fit her personality or the way she was in any of the series. So, what the hell? Evil Lynn, in this show, they at least made her how she should be as far as her attitude, her personality. She wasn't a slave to Skeletor or even a servant to Skeletor. She chose what she wanted to do when she wanted to do it. If it benefited her, sure. If she didn't want to do something, she didn't do it. At least they made her face pretty. I mean, her body looks like a fucking bodybuilder that has been on steroids and human growth hormones. You know, much like Tila. But Evil Lynn's arms are actually bigger than Tila's, which makes no sense. Tila was into physical things. Always working out, always practicing, always fighting. Evil Lynn was into magic. Evil Lynn's arms should not be twice the size of Tila's. Even though they made Tila into a Butch Dyke. That's big and burly, Evil Lynn's arms are bigger. Evil Lynn shouldn't look like that. She's a magic user. Alright, this has been going on for 40 minutes. This is me talking about that crappy Masters of the Universe Revelation and why you should avoid it at all costs. Don't buy the toys. Don't sponsor this kind of trash. Don't allow these companies to get away with taking a beloved series and running it for their woke crap. Alright, That's it. I apologize for the length of the video, and I hope everything turns out. So, bye.